Public policy. Objective. Public policy, functional dimensions, public policy process, public policy formulation, and public policy implementation. Public policy functional dimension. Essentially, public policy is a set of laws, guidelines, and action decided and taken by governments in order to work in favor of the public. Public policy can dictate things such as which laws are passed, where funding goes, and which topics concern the general public. Good public policy seeks to define issues and implement strategies that will produce a measurable and positive result for the general public. Effective public policy will support democratic institutions and processes, serve justice, encourage empathetic and active citizenship, and solve problems efficiently and effectively without causing a political rift. Thus, a successful policy is both the execution of a good policy, positive measurable outcome, and good politics bipartisanship. Public policy formation and policy strategy are ongoing due to continual re-evaluation of the effects, cost, resource allocation, and burdens of a course of action. Additionally, formulation and adoption generally follow a process similar to this. Public policy process. The, the public policy process, in simplified form, can be understood as a sequence of four pieces: agenda setting, formulation, implementation, and evaluation. Phases of policy process. Issues or problems. In the agenda phase, it is either not on agenda or on agenda. Next is in decision stage. It is either for reform or against in reforming. And in the last stage, the implementation stage, it is either the result is successful or unsuccessful. Before any policy comes into place, a problem must exist which will attract the attention of the government. Such problems must be defined and considered serious enough for government action. A public problem is a condition or situation that produces needs or dissatisfaction among people and for which relief or redress by governmental action is sought. There must be a prevailing dissatisfaction with the status quo. Policy formulation and adoptions are not automatic. The issue or problem must first compete for space on the policy agenda. It usually scales several hurdles inherent in the policy environment. First, identifying the issue to be addressed by the proposed policy. Second, placement on the agenda. Third, formulation of the policy. Fourth, implementation of the policy. And fifth, evaluation of the policy. History has shown that once implemented, policies are difficult to terminate. When they are terminated, it is usually because the policy became obsolete, clearly did not work, or lost its support among the interest groups and elected officials that placed it on the agenda in the first place. In 1974, for example, the Congress enacted a national speed limit of 55 miles per hour. It was effective in reducing highway fatalities and gasoline consumption. On the other hand, the law increased costs for the trucking industry and was widely viewed as unwarranted federal intrusion into an area that belonged to the state to regulate. The law was repealed in 1987. Public policy formulation. Mission. These are: first, problem emergence; second, agenda setting; third, consideration of policy options; fourth, decision making; fifth, implementation; and sixth, evaluation. Why? It helps to know where you are going and why. In formulating policy, we take policy path that chooses appropriate tools. Formulating policy that is contextually relevant is crucial to achieving the objectives. Implementation discussion represent the stage where government executes an adopted policy as specified by the legislation or policy action. At this stage, various government agencies and departments responsible for their respective area of policy are formally made responsible for implementation. Implementation may be carried out by formal as well as informal actors, including legislators, courts, bureaucracies, pressure groups, community organizations, and even individuals. Power is widely shared among and diffused throughout government institutions. Examples include leadership, communication and feedback mechanism. Leadership is needed at all levels of the system for policy implementation. From a political perspective, the appropriate level of leadership is needed to reshape mandates, resources, structures, and programs. Monitoring of implementation keeps everyone involved aware of any possible barriers, as well as any intended or unintended impacts of the work. After implementation and resources and other supports from stakeholders may decrease. Evaluation. Evaluation is assessment of whether a set of activities implemented under a specific policy has achieved a given set of objectives. Evaluation is the effort that renders a judgment about program quality. Evaluation is information gathering for the purposes of making decisions about the future of the program. Four types of policy evaluation: the process evaluation, outcome evaluation, impact evaluation, and the cost-benefit evaluation. Policy evaluation is conducted for checking the effects of the policies of respective ministries and for evaluating the policies in terms of necessity, efficiency, validity, etc., to improve the planning and implementation process. Policy evaluation contributes fundamentally to sound public governance. It can help governments improve the design and implementation of public policies that can, in turn, lead to prosperity for their country and well-being for its citizens. Thank you.